question. I actually laughed when I read it. You know, when you find you're laughing when you're reading something, it's exciting, but then I immediately assumed that they would mess the film up in other ways, you know, because they never allow something that's funny when you read it to stay that way. They start rewriting and meddling, and it just, so I just always assumed that they would mess it up, but they didn't, you know. When I heard that they wanted to, who they wanted as a director, and then I met her, I realized they had something unique again, and just all the elements together. Ryan's name coming up, Anne being a part of it, how the producers were handling things. All those elements together made me realize this might be a good one to, and my husband talked me into it. I kept saying no. He goes, people would like to see you doing these films every once in a while. And I was like, okay, you know, if he's a very harsh critic and he doesn't like most things. So I said, if he got the seal of approval on it, then there must be something to it. So I was a little more open-minded to the experience than I think I would have been. We have no idea. I think if the film business knew how chemistry happened, they would have a formula, they would have a patent on it, they would own it and make much more money than they already have. We have no idea. Even with Ryan and myself, we've known each other for a long time. That could hurt chemistry. You know, I think the smart part about this film is that you had two people battling each other all the time. And the way that it was written was such a good tennis match that even if you didn't have chemistry, that kind of writing creates chemistry. You know, you want to see people going at it. And they kept us apart, which is good too. So as an audience, you want to see the characters together. I think chemistry, it just either happens or it doesn't. And we were lucky that it happened. We didn't know it was happening, it just does. But the writing and the way our director had us playing off each other, it was very helpful in keeping that electric for people to watch. You don't know what's going on. I don't think comedy is difficult. Anyone who does comedy knows how difficult it is. And anyone who refuses to do comedy refuses to do it because they know how hard it is. It's so hard to find good comedy. There's so many different kinds of comedy. And there's so many ways to fail when you're doing comedy. And there's no one or thing that can help you when you're not funny. Music can't make you funnier. Editing can't make you funnier. But in drama, the beauty of drama is you can have a moment where a director has you sitting perfectly still and just moves the camera in slightly. You have music, a bit of narration, and you can create a feeling within an audience of their experiences in life, what they are projecting onto that character that they're watching. In comedy, you can't project. You either are funny or you're not. There's physical comedians. There's people who are good at quick repartee. It's impossible, but it's addictive because when it works, it's very thrilling. There's a high that you get when you make something work. Poor Oscar. Poor Oscar. He had the hardest job because when I saw him, I think our first thing we did was when I was on the chair and he was lying on the floor, thrusting himself at me. And I just kept looking at his eyes because his eyes were in so much pain. And you knew that he just had to commit to what he was doing. He didn't have nice grooming, as you saw. He just was loving Oscar, and he gave of himself to the women. He was so brilliant that when we did it, I knew that he had his stuff. I said, you know what? Don't tell me what you're going to do because I want to be surprised by what you put in my face or don't put in my face. But his commitment to doing what he did was, I felt so sorry for him. I felt so sorry for him. But he was committed, and he was, the minute they said action, the embarrassment went away, and he gave of himself. I mean, my favorite move was this. I give to you, ladies, of myself. Here, I offer you. And you're like, where did that come from? Oscar is brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant because the man that you see in this film is not the man in real life. Not even close.